With that, we shift our attention now to Karnataka. More breaking updates now coming in. A number of enumerators appointed for the socio-economic and educational survey in Bengaluru have gone on a strike, blaming the government for not considering their request and threatening to file an FIR against them. Now, these enumerators allege that in many cases they were given wards that were extremely far away from the locations that they had actually requested for. This has inconvenienced them. Some other enumerators also allege that the government has even overlooked their medical conditions and acted in a very inhumane manner. So the Karnataka Caste survey storm continues. The socio-economic survey hitting a roadblock with enumerators now going on a strike. The protests have now been going on. The protesters have in fact also gathered at the BBMP office in Malleswaram with these enumerators, alleging that there has been mismanagement. They say that they had put in some requests, the government did not heed to it, going on to say that there is negligence by the government authorities, saying that there are survey areas that has been allotted to them which is far away from their preferred location. My colleague Neha Ebale is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Neha, the caste survey in Karnataka has hit several roadblocks. This is the latest one where the enumerators themselves have said that the government is acting in an inhumane manner. What are the details?
Well, of course, now we're seeing that several, caste enumerators over here, many of those who are carrying out the survey have, of course, decided to sit on strike. We saw the manner in which, many of them, of course, were on protest there, saying that the government hasn't adhered to their demands, that, whether it's been on medical grounds or otherwise, a host of, all of these, of course, enumerators there were on strike. Many of them, in fact, even went on to say that some of the areas that they've been given have, been extremely far from their residences. Many of them, mothers, of course, who've just had babies as well, a host of issues. Well, of course, we'll really have to wait and see right now as to what the government decides, but it sure seems like there were quite a few hiccups and roadblocks on day one of the survey being launched in Bengaluru.
Okay, all right. So this is the claim being made by many of these enumerators. In fact, they have gone on a strike. They're protesting at the BBMP office in Malleswaram, demanding that the government look into their demands, going on to say that they will not go ahead with the survey. They will not go for the survey unless they have been told very clearly and they get what they want. They've been protesting for a while now. In fact, the officials have now rushed to the spot and their demands are currently being looked at by the police, by the officials on a case-by-case basis, because the enumerators say that they have put in this request already. They say that the survey will go on only if their requests are heeded to. In fact, interestingly, they also go on to say that it's an inhumane manner in which the officials are actually dealing with them. They go on to say that this is unacceptable. So, Neha, we understand that the officials have now, in the latest, gone to the spot, but this also means that until then, the survey will not be conducted because the enumerators have refused to leave from there. What's happening there on ground?
Well, of course, Satyava, this is a strike that took place on Saturday, remember? And while, of course, those enumerators there who were sitting in protest have been sent off by the GBA officials on the assurances that their demands would be looked into. It's really a matter of time now before we actually find out, whether or not, of course, they would be returning to work or not, and how that would then be impacting the survey.
But this is another roadblock, no doubt, until the talks continue. Neha, just stay with us a moment. We have G.S. Prashant of the BJP on the broadcast with us. Mr. G.S. Prashant, at a time when the government is wanting to go on this socio-economic survey, the enumerators themselves are protesting, alleging that the government is behaving with them in an inhumane manner. What is the BJP's response on the enumerators going on a protest against the government?
This only indicates the manner in which Congress here is looking at governance in Karnataka. There is zero governance and 100% corruption in Karnataka here. Firstly, this is being done as a political tool, this so-called socio-economic survey. And in the past surveys, when they did, by spending 120 crores, it was down the drain because the report was not accepted by the CM himself. because the documents were missing and the signature of the secretary was missing. Now they've embarked upon a new survey and they gave impossible deadlines of say 20 days to enumerate 7 crore people of Karnataka. So therefore, and you need to give them basic facilities at least. And even the medical conditions of the enumerators have been ignored. So therefore, this is only a political tool which is being dictated from 10 Janpath and being followed by Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar here. That's all. Apart from this, there is no truth here.
Not in touch with the reality on ground, directions being given from Delhi and being carried out in Karnataka. That's the charge that you're making. Mr. J.S. Prashant, I request you to stay with us. We